Two army officers were thrashed and one of their two women friends was allegedly gang raped by armed miscreants when they were out on a picnic in Madhya Pradesh's Indore district. The incident happened when the two major ranked officers who were undergoing training at the Army War College in district's Mahao cantonment went out for a picnic along with two female friends in the Jam Gate area. When the group reached the area, 8 to 10 men armed with pistols, knives and sticks surrounded their car. They assaulted the two army officers and their friends. The attackers also snatched their wallets and other valuable items. The miscreants then held one officer and one woman hostage and sent the other officer and woman away to fetch a ransom of rupees 10 lakh for their release. The officer, who was released by the attackers, informed his commanding officer about the incident, after which the police were alerted and reached the spot. As the police reached the spot, the attackers fled the scene. All 4 people were brought to the civil hospital for medical examination, and as per doctors, there were signs of injuries on the officers' bodies, and one of the women was gang raped by the attackers, is what we are learning at this point in time. We'll talk about this gruesome crime, this unabated stream of murders and rapes which continues in our country. Major General Dhruv Katoch, Director of India Foundation, with us on the program. Mr. Vineet Jindal, Senior Lawyer, also with us on the show. Brinda Adige, women activist, also joins us on the program, and Tahira Hassan, women activist, with us on this important discusun as well. Brinda ji, I'll begin with you. We haven't even gotten over what's happened in West Bengal. We haven't even started to pick up the pieces of some sort of semblance as to what is going on in our country, and here we are again talking about a gruesome rape of a woman who was in fact flanked by men at this point in time, but still did not manage to evade something so dastardly. What's going on over here? And what kind of a precedent or a deterrent is required on behalf of the government, perhaps even a state government, to make sure that we don't continue to talk about this on a daily basis on primetime television?
First and foremost, there is no fear of law. So if you look at most states, we find that perpetrators continuously, and like you mentioned, unabated, go on to target women, terrorize women, and in this particular case, even terrorize the men also, because they come in gangs, they come with weapons, they come with a plan because they know the layout and they know the geography, and they know the police are not around. There is no patrolling happening. There is no CCTV camera. And this might not have been the first such case. It may be one case that has come to the notice of the police because they were army officers. They had the courage and went up and made the complaint. Now, we do not know how many such cases have happened in the past. The blame squarely, responsibility squarely lies with the state government and all the facilities and mechanisms that are not working. And that means not just the police, we are also talking about the entire justice system. We are talking about the state not extending any kind of security. There is no kind of warning, there is no education. So there's an absolute lawlessness and lack of fear of law.
General Katoch, how do you look at this? This is obviously, this must be troubling for you, to see, trainee officers, army officers, being bullied this way, and then eventually having to witness something like this, goon justice or goon injustice, despite being trained, but obviously they were out for a picnic, they were out for a good time. They were not carrying their, weapons, or, they were outnumbered in this scenario, obviously.
Thank you, Vineet. Vineet, I have got a slightly different piece of information which I would just like to share with you, because I heard the video recording of the superintendent of police, a lady officer, a very interesting conversation she was having with ANI. Now, in this incident, yes, there were 2 army officers. They were doing the YOS course. They were young, 23, 24 years old. They were of the rank of lieutenant. So that is the first course which they do after commissioning. That is the first point. The second year, there were 2 ladies with them, and there were 6 people who carried out this attack. Out of these 6 people, 2 have been arrested. They have got the names of the other 4, and the teams are out to arrest them. That was the information which the lady police officer shared. Now, it raises up very troubling questions because, Ms. Brinda is absolutely right. You cannot have people having no fear of the law. And that happens to be prevalent. People just aren't scared. And I think it is not so much to do with the state government or with the law enforcement. I think it has got a lot to do with the entire justice delivery mechanisms. Because even when a person is apprehended, very soon he's out on bail. And here we've had such terrible incidences by which a person has been out on a rape case. He was out on bail. He came back on bail. He killed the girl's father and brother, and the girl is now absconding. I mean, there are, if I just list out to you the incidences which have taken place over the last 1 week or last 1 month, it makes for heart-rending reading. But now, coming to this particular case, as per that lady police officer, because I do not know the facts, when she was specifically asked whether the rape took place, her statement was that the officer has claimed so. He said that possibly it could have happened because they had taken the two people had been sent, one officer and one lady had been sent to fetch the ransom money of 10 lakhs, as you have stated. The goons then, they separated the girl, and this officer then says that he heard her screaming, so he doesn't know what happened. And after that, as per the police statement, they haven't questioned the girl yet. So I'm not sure if, how this medical report and all has come in, because that was not what was stated by the police officer. Perhaps that information was different. But this is the state so far. Now, I think this has to be taken very, very seriously. They will nab these 6 people, and if there is a gang functioning, that will be broken. But again, Brindaji is right. There are other gangs there. And throughout, there has to be some level of collusion with local authorities or something. Otherwise, these people cannot get away like this. In this particular case, it has come to light. But I think we need to do something. And I particularly feel, that as an army officer, if I travel there, I'll carry a weapon with me. I've got absolutely no doubts with it, and I know how to use it. So if something like this happens, if there are 6 people, well, there'll be 6 less after I finish off with them. But then you need to be armed. And an unarmed person has a very difficult option if there are 6 people with knives and pistols or something, attacking them. So at that moment, I think discretion is the better part of valor, and they say, okay, let us give them the money and get out or whatever it is. It's not really worth it. But when the honor of the woman is involved, then I think everything is worth it. Then you have to fight to the death. And that's the way I look at it. Vineet.
Mr. Jindal, your perspective of what's going on over here, the lack of fear of law in our country is not only dangerous, but it affects everything. It affects your psyche, it affects your daily commute, it affects your confidence, it affects your happiness quotient, it affects your relationship with everyone around you, your children, your wife, your colleagues. You can do whatever you want and get away with it, and even if you are caught, the legal system is perhaps such a slow burn that you more or less likely are out to be on bail and get away with the trouble of going to courts and defending yourself as well. Now this is harrowing. This is becoming extremely difficult for citizens of our country, regardless of where you are. Crimes have happened in the capital city as well, if you remember Nirbhaya. What's to be done here, sir? What's to be done?
Look, Vineet, there are 2 different parts. One is the responsibility of the government and the police officials before the incident. And the other part is after the incident, the responsibility of investigation agency and the justice departments. So if we are talking about these 2 things, I think the first thing should be done by the state government and the law enforcement agencies. The police officials should be at least provide the sufficient things, and they have the courage to go and arrest the people. I have seen there are people, there are goons who, from them, the police official has having a fear. They even don't want to go at their places to arrest them. One thing. The other point is, when the incident has happened like this, the gang rape has been happened. We have seen the Bengal incident, we have seen Delhi incident, now this, and there are a lot of incidents. But the problem is, if we are talking about justice, whether the bail situation and justice has been provided or not. The problem is what we have seen in Delhi, this is in the court, the police officials are not that capable who was giving this kind of investigations. That is true. And they are not provided with the sufficient mechanism, the things, scientific kind of things. The other point is which one of the army officers is sitting here, retired army officer sitting here, that he is talking about some statement of the one of the police or investigation officer who till now she is not confirming that whether this incident, a rape, gang rape would be happen or not. So I don't know what is going on behind this investigation, because as per the media report, the medical has been done, the gang rape has been confirmed, but now the police official himself, investigation, the lady who is investigating the thing, this incident, she is not confirming it. So what is going on? There should be, there must be something fishy is there, either on the part of the complainant, either on the part of investigation agency. They are trying to hide this. So there are so many aspects. And when this matter went to court, so investigation should be foolproof. Otherwise, everything has been gone. So I think the first point is the investigation officer has a responsibility to investigate the matter in a fair manner with all his capacity. So it would be better when the court, the matter went to the trial, then the justice would be served. And as we have seen in Bengal, Mamata Banerjee has introduced a new law by which she has reduced the time to file charge sheets. But again, there is so much questions about how the investigation would be completed. We have seen there are less of things would be provided to the police officials to complete the investigations. So there are so many aspects, there are so many loopholes, there are so many difficulties to pack up investigation in a foolproof manner. So I think we have to work together in respect of investigation, in respect of giving safety and security to citizens, and to provide justice to the court trials.
Tahira ji, we've been down this road before, and I don't know how often do we congregate on national TV to talk about it, but this is an emergency, isn't it? Do you consider this an emergency? And why do you think lawmakers and people responsible for the safety of the citizens who vote them in are sleeping on this?
Of course, it's the responsibility of the state, police, administration, all. You know that when the army men can be attacked and can be assaulted, means there is no fear of law, is another thing. But the women, sexual violence is increasing with the women every day. Why it is so? Kolkata, one of the daughter was gang raped there. After that, Uttarakhand, one of our daughter was coming from the hospital. She was nurse. She was raped and murdered. In Dehradun, Park bus, the girl was raped. So what is this? Every day we debate and we hear. But after Nirbhaya, as you had mentioned, after Nirbhaya, the Justice Verma committee was constituted and very strong laws were made. Why they are not implemented properly, thing is this. Redressal of such cases should be fast-track court, so witness will not be hostile, first thing, and the conviction rate must increase. What do you expect when the convicted person gets parole, like Ram Rahim? What do you think when the rapist of IIT Banaras student, when he came out of the jail, he was glorified. So you can't expect that something will change. There's no fear of law. They know that they will get away after committing heinous crime, and they will be glorified by the society. You see, in the Agra, what happened? The one of our Bitya was going on scooty, and the 5 biker tried to pin her down, and people were making video. You know, this is where we are going. Where this is, we can call we are the civil society. And what is the role of the police? You know, the police must collect the evidences immediately. You have seen the Chawla Delhi case. That was a heinous crime. where the glass bottle was inserted in the private part of the girl, but all the rapists acquitted. Why? Because the evidences were not collected and presented properly, reported in court. So the honorable court will give the justice on the evidences collected by the police. So this system, the whole system is so shaky, So that should be done. The reform, police reform, it is a sensitization is needed. All these things are needed, and we are shouting at the top of voice such a long time after Nirbhaya. We are saying, why not implement the laws of the Nirbhaya immediately? You can make a beautiful laws, but when you are not going to implement it properly, how can you expect that you will create a fear of that law? Or how can you curb the rising violence or sexual violence against the women? 3,000 crore Nirbhaya fund is not utilized properly. Why the accountability is not fixed? That had to be utilized properly. Pink buses, how many states are running the pink buses for our women? Especially I'm talking about the domestic helpers who commute. How many states are running? How many states' capital are running? So these are the questions. How many helplines are working? What about our remote areas where the women are raped, and they are raped in Bhungat also? And they are not able to even register the FIR. They can't go to police station. They're so scared of police. The police should also come out and be friendly with them, And sensitization programs must be started by the government immediately.
All right. Vrindaji, what else do you think is the problem here? Is it the entire scope of monitoring and administering such a large population? But there are other countries in the world as well who perhaps have a thicker density of population. They continue to be high in terms of women's safety. What are the challenges here? Why aren't we able to get this right? You don't want to compare yourself with other countries. Every country has its own unique challenge. It has its own unique perspective on women's safety. But the fact of the matter is that, just like Tahiraji pointed out, 3,000 crore rupees in the Nirbhaya fund have not been utilized. That is something that could have made a huge change.
You're absolutely right. I don't think we can ever make such a lame excuse that because of our large population, the state is unable to implement anything. I think that is a very wrong statement to be made, and that is something, if the government comes out and says that, we are a big population, we can't do anything, let them step down. Civil society will be able to manage. What we want here is political and bureaucratic will. Both are absolutely missing. There is no accountability fixed on anybody like Madam Tahira mentioned over there. Who is ever pulled up? There is never a case of dereliction filed on any bureaucrat, on any duty bearer, ever.
True.
There are prosecutors, we know, they will of course talk about vacancies in the police, in the prosecution department, and in the judiciary. But is my government poor? I refuse to accept it. Nearly 70% of all the 500 Forbes names are from my country. So my country is not poor. Let us not even have that argument. My government cannot say that we do not have money. And like Madam Tahira pointed out, 3,000 crores that can be spent by the entire country per year. There is no will, because nobody is held accountable. And because nobody is held accountable, they will hold on to the money, the state governments will hold on to the money, and on 25th or 28th of March, will send it back to the union government so that it comes back to them on the 10th of April. And everything is hunky-dory. What are my commissions doing? Almost 22 commissions. What is the Commission for Women doing? What is the Human Rights Commission doing? What is the SC/ST Commission, Minority Commission? What are these commissions doing? Sad to say, all those people who are political appointees sit and earn money after their retirement. So they get their pension and their money. And what is happening at the field level? Police which is the first line of interactions and interface with the public, are paid the least. We are not talking about the IPS. We are talking about everybody below them. Their salaries are miserly. Their perks are terrible. I do a lot of training with the police, and we know that there are times when these policemen and women work 3 shifts at a go. So that is a big problem, and we are asking them to be sensitive to a woman who comes to the police station, maybe beaten, tortured by her husband, traumatized and raped, and of course all of that. The nexus between politicians and police, let us call it out. The minute a complaint comes there will be a call to say, handle the case properly. So if I'm a lay person standing on the outside and I hear a conversation like this and I say, wow, actually somebody called up and said, handle the case properly. But the implications are, ensure that my people who are the perpetrators involved in it go scot-free. So yes, the police will have a lackadaisical FIR over there. You will have all kinds of diluted evidence that is collected. Then you come all the way to the prosecution.
Right,
so the BNS is talking about
ma'am.
Yeah,
you're right, ma'am. We've run out of time. I'll quickly take 10-second reactions from General Katoch and Mr. Jindal, and then we'll wrap up. Mr. Jindal, starting with you. So you're muted. Go on.
Yes, I am audible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there should be some responsibility lies with the authorities, even if they are talking about police officials. I think the important aspect is investigation. If investigation is foolproof and you have collected the evidences with the responsibility and sanitized police officials, then you will get, definitely, I will assure you, you will get justice. But we have seen so many cases that evidences has been destroyed. The police official has not been capable to even investigate this kind of matters where scientific things have been done or a proper investigation can be done. But their lack of knowledge, their lack of ability. So I think the police officials should be sensitized. Police officials should be given proper training to how this kind of matters, the rape, gang rape matters should be taken care of.
All right, General Katoch.
I think.
Right. General Katoch, quickly, sir.
Vineet, I've just got 2 very quick points. One is, I totally agree with what Brindaji has said. Everything which she said makes sense. I just have to add 2 more points. One, the judiciary must be held accountable along with the police. They cannot keep giving bails to everybody. And the last point, if we don't do it, remember what happened in Germany is the case of Marianne Bachmeier. When her 6-year-old girl was raped. She took a gun, she took a pistol, and she shot dead that rapist in the court. I think we will come to that if we don't get justice, because justice is important. Give justice or we will take it. The public will take it. And I think that is the message I would like to give to the police and to the judiciary. Vineet.
That's a strong message, sir. Thank you for topping that up. And in fact, we have run out of time. Would like to thank all my guests for being a part of this conversation.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.